As twilight falls and the shadows stretch their tendrils across the world, we journey into the eerie depths of some of the most haunted places in America, where history and the supernatural are intertwined. The prison on Alcatraz Island, California. In the dark waters of San Francisco Bay sits Alcatraz Island, where a former penitentiary looms. Cell Block D, known as the Hole, is where many inmates reportedly heard ghostly whispers and felt icy chills that seemed to come from nowhere. The Lizzie Borden House, Fall River, Massachusetts. The Lizzie Borden House remains haunted by the infamous 1892 murders of Andrew and Abby Borden. Visitors and overnight guests have reported hearing the sound of a woman weeping late at night and seeing ghostly apparitions that seem to reenact the crime. The Dakota, a stately apartment building overlooking Central Park, is the site of eerie encounters. It was here that John Lennon was tragically killed in 1980, and some claim to have seen his spirit near the entrance. Before that, residents reported sightings of a little ghost girl dressed in vintage clothing and the eerie crying lady whose sobs can be heard echoing through the halls. The Edgar Allan Poe House in Maryland sits as a tribute to the master of macabre literature. Visitors have reported encounters with strange shadows that seem to follow them and ghostly footsteps that creep through the rooms. The town of Salem, Massachusetts holds dark memories of the 1692 witch trials, where hysteria led to the execution of innocent people. At the old Burying Point Cemetery, visitors see spectral figures and hear the distant cries of those who were accused and condemned. The Bell Witch Cave in Tennessee is the resting place of one of America's most notorious hauntings. In the early 19th century, the Bell family was tormented by an evil entity that spoke, moved objects, and even attacked them physically. The cave nearby is said to be where the spirit resides. The Queen Mary ocean liner in Long Beach is home to more than its fair share of spectral passengers. On Deck B, there is a chilling tale of a young girl who drowned. Her voice has been recorded asking for her mother. In room B340, the most haunted cabin aboard, guests have reported everything from faucets turning on by themselves to seeing a shadowy figure at the foot of their beds. In 1974, the Amityville house on Long Island became infamous after Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his family inside. Just a year later, the Lutz family moved in, only to flee after 28 days, claiming they encountered slime oozing from walls, horrifying visions, and unearthly sounds. San Diego's Whaley House, built in 1857, is often called the most haunted house in America. It stands on land that was once the site of public hangings, and visitors claim to see the spirit of Yankee Jim Robinson, who was hanged there in 1852. In the French Quarter of New Orleans stands the Lalaurie Mansion, where Madame Delphine Lalaurie committed horrific acts of cruelty against enslaved people in the early 19th century. After a fire revealed the torture chamber in the attic, the mansion became infamous, and blood-curdling screams are said to still echo through the house. The blood-soaked fields of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, are said to be haunted by the restless spirits of Civil War soldiers who lost their lives in battle. Witnesses have reported hearing the sounds of gunfire and seeing ghostly soldiers marching across the fields in full uniform. Since its opening in 1927, the Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona has housed guests both famous and supernatural. In room 305, visitors claim to see a woman who rocks in a chair, staring out the window with a sad expression. The ghost of a bellboy is often seen in the hallways, offering assistance to guests. As the shadows deepen and the last rays of daylight fade, these places remain, standing as silent witnesses to the